in New Jersey prison system, when you're sentenced from the county jail to go to prison, you first go to a place called C.R.A.F, Central Reception and Forwarding. And you're transported from the county jail in a DOC van to C.R.A.F. DOC vans are the most uncomfortable thing in the world. The inside of the vans, both sides, are slanted on the inside, so you can't sit back as you're traveling. You have to be hunched over like this because of the slant. And, like some mastermind in torture, came up with that idea, because it's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. And so you arrive at C.R.A.F after, traveling in these DOC vans. And as soon as you walk in the door, you give your paperwork in this little section, and then you step through the door, and there's a guy screaming at you to get naked immediately. So, like, boom, 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 4 of us line up. We got to get naked. We got to squat. We got to cough. We're ordered into the showers. You got to shower. You're dressed in new prison garb. And then you get put in a holding cell where you sit for hours and hours and hours waiting to get called to medical. And C.R.A.F, they send you to C.R.A.F, one, to shock you, into not wanting to go back to the prison system. Everybody's screaming at you. Everybody's threatening your life. Guys are getting taken away, lumped up. It's just you can feel the air inside C.R.A.F. It has a complete different feel. It's heavy in there. I've had veterans tell me that they step off the plane in the Middle East and you can just feel the air is different. There's a heaviness to it, and that's exactly how C.R.A.F was. It had a heavy air to it of negativity and toxicity, and it was a horrible feeling. So you're sitting in the holding cell all day. You finally get called somewhere. You're going to meet with medical. You're going to meet with psychologists and social workers. They're going to review your history, your gang affiliation, what you're there for. They're going to try to find the right prison system for you to be in. Then you go before a classification board, and the classification board will, decide what prison to send you to. And after all day in that holding cell, finally getting to medical, I make it to my cell, and my bunkie was a 20-year-old blood gang member from Newark, New Jersey. His nickname was Snap. Snap was a good dude. I liked him. But Snap and I grew up, in totally different environments. Snap was telling me that, in 7th grade, he's carrying a gun to school every day and stashing it in a bush outside the school until school got out. And I'm like, why the hell in 7th grade are you going to school with a gun, Snap? And he's like, I'm in the gang already. He's like, and there'd be people after me and I'd be after them, and it just wasn't safe, to walk the streets without a gun. And I'm like, wow. Snap was 20 years old, had a 5-year sentence, and Snap had 4 kids by 3 different women already. And in the inner city, procreating and having children is a sign of manliness. And Snap wanted to know how many kids I had. And I told him none. And he was shocked. He's like, Clark, you can't be a man without having kids. And I'm like, yeah, it's just not how it was by me, Snap. Is Snap going to be a good dad to those 4 kids? Snap's probably probably, he's caught up in that gang life and it's a trap, he's probably back in already on another sentence. If not, I don't know how he was going to break from that lifestyle when he got out after 5 years. I asked him that. He's like, oh, I'll find a job somewhere, When you're on parole, if you're caught with your gang members or you're caught doing the wrong thing, doing drugs, drinking, they'll send you back in and you have to finish out whatever your parole period is. I had 3 years of parole. Had I screwed up during those 3 years, I would have had to go on back to prison and finish out those 3 years of parole. So Snap had the same thing, 3 years of parole. I don't know if he was able to stay on parole and not get sent back in. I don't know. After C.R.A.F, we lost touch with each other. But the gang life is a complete trap. I saw guys, in the gangs that had ratted on each other. When you're slapped in the face with a 20, 30-year sentence, all of a sudden, being such a tough guy, makes guys weak in the knees. And guys in the jail, would be fighting each other because they snitched on each other. Guys in prison, we had this one guy, hulking guy, worked out all the time. And my buddy's roommate was a high-ranking blood gang member, and he was going to have guys go after this big guy because he had snitched on the street, So even the biggest, toughest-looking guys, snitch. So in C.R.A.F, at nighttime, the cockroaches ran the walls, the mice ran the floors. I was on the top bunk, Snap was on the bottom, and Snap started freaking out. He's like, Clark, look at the floor, there's mice running all over. I hate mice, And Snap was freaking out. I'm like, just calm down, bro. They're not on your bunk. Just, just look out when you're going to the bathroom. And that was C.R.A.F, cockroaches and mice. And we had this white CO that worked our morning shift on our unit in C.R.A.F. And man, he was tough as nails. He barked at every single person, threatened them. There was, yellow tape around his desk that you weren't to step over. Guys stepped on the yellow tape, and he, just threatened to take them into the closet room where there was no cameras and beat the shit out of them. And on my last night there, he came by my cell and threw me a garbage bag, and he's like, "You're shipping in the morning. Pack all your stuff up in that garbage bag and bring it to my desk." And there was like 4 other guys in front of me when I got down there. And he processed all 4 of them first. And then it was my turn. I was the last one in line. And, I guess I held myself different than most people in the prison system. I guess I carried myself different. And this guy asked me, put his hands behind his head and leaned back in his chair, and he's like, "Fredericks," real mean and tough, like, "why don't you tell me what the hell you're here for?" And I gave him a quick 30-second synopsis, raped by my Boy Scout leader. He was a corrections officer in the county jail, and after seeing him on the street with another young boy by his side, calling him the same nickname he used to make me call him, it opened up all my pain, and at some point down the road, I went and confronted him and murdered him. And he's got his hands behind his back, and he's rocking, and he's like, "You're all right by me, Fredericks. You are all right by me." He goes, "Good luck to you, And I'm like, "Thanks, man." So even my story could impact even, the toughest corrections officer in the prison system. And that happened, time and time again. So again, no. The point being is you don't want to go to C.R.A.F. It was such a hellhole. It has since been shut down. But avoid putting yourself in a situation of being sent to C.R.A.F., being sent to prison. You don't want to live that way. It's a horrible, horrible life. And if you think gangs are your out for the inner city or for the projects, it's a trap. He goes, and your brothers will turn on you when you're faced with a long, long sentence. Trust me.